We don't have time for a long intro today. I have so much that I want to do. It has been 1,700 days and I have built so many things. Check it out. We started by building New Hope and all of this farmland. Things were going really well. Then I went down south and built this awesome dock city, complete with a bunch of fishing boats to further feed my people. After that, the hero of our story, Dr. Steve Tepek, had to contact the future to find out how he could stop the evil AI Cal who is bent on destroying the universe. But before he could even think about Cal, a zombie horde invaded New Hope, sending the people fleeing into an ancient city. That's right, I transformed an ancient city in 100 days, and this is where the people have been living until now. Mr. Grady, I have a mission for you.
Sure, boss. What do you need?
We need to know where this horde of undead is coming from.
Can the Oracle help?
He seems to be in meditation. I'm not sure. He's unresponsive.
Well, we know there are countless zombies in New Hope, and they came from the south.
I'm hoping the Oracle can find a way to help us. He seems willing to, but I don't know. Even if he can, though, we need to know where they're originating from so we can defend against future attacks.
Future attacks? We're still living in hiding here in this ancient city, and you're worried about the future?
I am. From what Edwin, Fred, and my old captain told us, we should all be worried about the future. Go, take as many men as you think you need, and go find where these monsters are coming from. So what's my plan for 1,800 days? Well, I want to spend the next 100 days finishing. That's my entire goal. Look, I have 100 days before we're done with this block, and I need to get done. While Dr. Tepek's people are stuck in the ancient city, I want to come up here and do some building, because when they emerge from the ancient city, eventually, whenever that is, I want them to have houses, and I want New Hope to be basically finished. In addition to, maybe we'll head down to the south as well. We just got to see how much time we have in this block. First things first, though, I gotta add roads. I have finally, after years and years of playing this game, come up with the proper order of things. I mean, look, I'm not inventing this. I'm just finally listening to the experts who tell you, build the roads first. That's how real life works. You build the roads and then people build houses next to the roads generally. So I'm doing that as well. So I'm building all of the roads to basically finish out filling in the town from wall to wall. I really love this road palette. It's deep slate, tough, deep slate bricks, and basalt, and it just works really great. It looks a little dirty. This combination I used a lot more tough because I have tons of tough from my time in the ancient city, so I use more tough than I normally do, and I'm not sure I love it, but I have one more bit of road to do, which is take out this last sort of hill, and I gotta level it somewhat. Look, I don't do flat land anymore, but I gotta level it at least enough that I can use slabs to change elevation and not need like a big steep staircase. While I'm extending these roads even further, I want to mention the new series that I just started. It's Skyblock using the Conquest Reforged mod and a couple other mods too. It's going to be a very talky, old school kind of Let's Play. Not quite as fast paced as this, and a lot more just sort of personality to it. If it's something you're interested, don't miss it. I've been recording quite a bit over on Dominion here in the last few days, and I cannot believe how much I miss hammers. Oh, man, I know they'll never add a 3x3 mining thing for vanilla, but boy, it'd be nice. Now look, if I'm going to be building a ton of houses, I'm thinking probably more than 20, maybe as many as 25 houses, that I'm going to need a ton of cobblestone, which I'm good on, but crackstone brick, yeah, I need a lot of that. So I came down to my underground, under the arcane reception coil, to my super smelter here, and just loaded up with a whole double chest worth of stone brick, and I just got to wait a couple minutes for it to smelt. This thing is crazy fast. Armed with my freshly smelted crackstone brick, I came up to lay out, oh, that's not quite it. I had the shuffle mod, I just forgot to turn it on. If you don't know what shuffle mod is, it picks from blocks in your inventory. It's a client-side mod, so you can use it on servers or anything in 1.18, 1.19 too. Okay, so I am just going to lay out sort of traditional Minecraft shapes. I'll do some diagonals too, because if you don't do some diagonals, things look a little bit weird. And I'm just going to start laying out a ton of houses. Every sort of shape is on the table here. I'm going to be using circular towers, oval shapes, trapezoids, regular houses, diagonal. It's all there. This rain is just spectacular. I love it so much. I'm starting to get the feeling, even though I only built a couple houses up, yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling. It is day 1707, which means I've been doing this for a week of in-game time, and I have basically all of the first floor, the ground floor, laid out. Everything is pretty good, it's all variated, and I'm ready to start either slapping on roofs or second floors. I'm not sure which to do, but I like the progress thus far. I had to quickly run down to my mines because it is driving me crazy that I don't have an ender chest since I moved it, and I don't remember where I put it. So I just gotta get some obsidian. This is making me nuts. After some badass obsidian mining, I am ready to make my ender chest and move on with my life. Believe it or not though, after all of that, I am out of cracked stone brick yet again, and I need more because I'm not totally done with all of the stone brick that I'm gonna need. So yeah, right back to the old arcane reception coil. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you eventually. I flew up to town and took a look over the place, and I think it's pretty good. Yeah, there's some open spots over there near the gate. That's why I need the additional cracked stone brick, but things are laid out pretty well. These aren't going to be shops or anything special. This is just going to be where people live. After finishing laying everything out, I came back up to the blimp, and I counted them. There are 26 houses. What? 26 houses in one episode. We're building it. Let's go. It's going to be awesome. It's going to fill out the entire rest of the city. And once I get all these houses done and decorated and bring in some nature and all that kind of stuff, I can kind of call New Hope done. You know, done-ish. I mean, there's a few things. There's always going to be things. But at least I'm going to feel good about moving on to the 2,000-day block, you know, and feel like this is a good place. I can tell you, I know what some of you who have been here since the beginning of this world are going to say. You're going to say, hey, wait a second, you have a rule. You have a rule for every house you build in this world, you have to have 3 farms. That's true, and I'm not abandoning that rule. The caveat to that rule is, though, fishing ships can feed a lot more people than a farm. Remember that. If I'm going to build a ton of houses, I'm going to need a ton of wood. So yeah, I brought some shulkers, and it's time to head over to my dark oak / spruce farming area and go to town. I'm going to be here for a while. Armed with about 4 shulkers of wood, it's time to get going, and yeah, this is gonna really take a long time. I want to use basically 3 materials for the roofs to just fit in with all the rest of the city, and that is dark oak and spruce, and occasionally, not too often, deep slate. I want to have a mixture of deep slate bricks and deep slate tiles, occasionally, just to sort of break up the all wood roof. I think it's good. 3 seems to be the right number in my mind to have a city have differences, but also kind of the same. Yeah, for long-time channel friends here, this is the most me thing I think I've ever seen. I have 3 crafting benches there, and I actually have 1 more in my inventory. Yeah, right there. Yeah, 4 crafting tables. I want to say this is about the 4th house maybe I've done so far, and finally it's time for a deep slate one, just again to mix it up, so I don't have like a bunch of spruce houses in a row or whatever. I don't want it to look like a pattern. I don't want to have like spruce, dark oak, spruce, dark. That would be really boring. Taking some time to put away all the junk I get just from killing mobs. I don't need a gunpowder farm. I can just kill creepers by hand. I guess that's how people do. I've never really done that before, but I get so much gunpowder. By the way, I know I plugged this earlier in the video, but I made a note on this clip that, hey, I got to remember to plug the second channel. So yeah, the second channel has basically long plays now. If you're someone who likes the long plays, like a bunch of my friends, Infinite Drift and Waxrod, a bunch of them have done it. I've been really intrigued by the style and the format. So I started putting up the Skyblock series as long plays on my second channel. And then on my first channel is actually sort of a broken down old school Let's Play of it. If you're interested, the link's down below. Finally, the grind has been real. I've been watching Stranger Things on Netflix. It's been really, really fun, and I'm sort of watching the first 3 seasons before I move into the new season, so no spoilers in comments if you don't mind. But I have all the roofs laid out, which means I also added second floors to a bunch of the houses that I felt needed. Not all. Some are just 1 story, some are 2 stories, so I sort of already got those all worked out. Now I just come in with the terracotta, pick different colors, sort of the regular, naturally generated colors like your orange and yellow and brown brown and put those at the walls. And we're getting close. We're getting close to really good progress in this portion of the build. I filled in all the second floors, and we are good. I like to just walk around here and just make sure that I don't have like a bunch of yellows beside each other or whatever. Things look pretty good. By the way, in this particular video, there's actually one less lore segment than normal. There's 2 lore segments, one you already saw, one around the midway point, and then one for the epilogue. You'll know when you see the story why, but yeah, that's what's going on. Oh boy, I gotta tell you, I embrace the grind of Minecraft. I really like the grind of Minecraft, as you know if you've been around the channel for a while, but this one in particular, because it's not very creative, it's just sort of doing cookie cutter houses, this one's a grind. I gotta cut in here to tell you in editing that this clip, and from here on to the end of the video, takes place about 2 weeks after the first half of the video. So not much progress happened because I was recording a ton of other stuff. I've been really pushing hard on Dominion. I had a 100 days video to edit together, and plus the Conquest Survival Skyblock thing. Yeah, it's just been a lot. So yeah, I got to sort of walk around the city and remember what the heck I was even working on because it's been so long. But yeah, it'll come back to me. Yes, chimneys. Okay, I remember now. I need to add chimneys to all of these houses, or not all, probably, most of these houses, because it adds the movement. It adds the living people are in the city type of thing, even though technically in the lore, there are no living people in the city. There's only the zombie horde, but there will be at some point, again, living people in the city of New Hope. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I left some windowless walls, and those are going to be basically the chimney walls. I'm trying really hard to be less even about my windows, so it leaves more room for chimneys and things like that. Doesn't it look so much better? You get that movement in there. I have gone on record saying I didn't really like chimneys, and I was going to keep on using smoke sort of hand done with glass or we used to use dead coral and stuff, but yeah, I was wrong. Okay, I'm just saying for the record, I was wrong. Chimneys, fireplaces or, whatever. It's been a huge upgrade to Minecraft. So good job, Mojang. Bad job, me, for not recognizing it. A couple more in-game days later, and I think all of the houses that I want to have chimneys. We are good. Walking around here, you're starting to get a good feeling. Yeah, it's just plain grass. There's no nature. There's no trees, no mailboxes, no carts, none of that stuff. But you're starting to feel like it's an actual developed city and not like I just plunked down 27 houses right in the middle of New Hope. Hey, check this out. You notice anything? You notice anything weird? I was looking for a resource pack for the Conquest series, and I accidentally happened upon this with the round logs. It's pretty awesome. Am I going to keep it? No, I'm not, so don't flip out in the comments, but I do think it's really cool. I think it adds a lot and doesn't seem to really change my frames at all. It's not like a chisel and bits thing. It just looks really good. Okay, the next thing I gotta add is I gotta add roads to all the houses. And yeah, I have the main sort of road, but I need to add the actual small little roads like sidewalks and walkways and stuff to get up there. Again, the thing that separates a city from sort of a village is a lot more paved areas or rockier path or whatever you want to do, but like developed roadways and not so much nature. So I want to fill in most of this nature with purposeful nature, meaning planted trees or whatever. All that being said about all the pavement, the next thing that I did was add a bunch of coarse dirt. And yeah, I know I'm just sort of taking away a little bit of the pavement I talked about, but I want it to look like grass doesn't go straight up. Like maybe people have gone off the side of the road, like happens. Like if you look at a road, there's like a berm and there's like, it's not just grass perfectly manicured like a golf course right up to the pavement. So just adding some of this on the sides. Occasionally I'll put some of it like right on the road just to, look like maybe some dirt is washed over the road. Hey, look. Let's got some visitors here in town. That's cool. That's cool. I'll just not kill them. Honestly, though, that part didn't take very long at all, and it actually added quite a bit. So the next thing I want to do, I brought some leaves, I brought a bunch of fences, I brought some lanterns. I need to light it up, and I need to start adding custom trees. These things make all the difference in the world. I love them. It might be forever until I just plant a sapling and bone meal. This is great. It's the right size of tree that makes it look custom built because it is. Yeah, it's totally the way to go. The other thing, though, that I want to make sure I concentrate on is not just all pavement. There should be sort of paths worn between houses. Like, it wasn't really intended that people would walk through, but people do cut through, and they eventually wear away the grass. So I put in some path blocks, some coarse dirt. I'm also going to pepper in some custom trees here before I, well, eventually come in and just bone meal the crap out of this town. Little spaces, though, that's what it's going to come down to. And if you want to hear more about what I'm going to fill all the little spaces with, then you got to make sure you hit subscribe down below. Just do it. Just do it. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. It's really funny. I actually felt like I had most of it filled in, but the more I look, especially from the cinematic, there are so many. I have so much stuff that I need to add to make this look like an actual lived-in city. I definitely want to fill some of the bigger spaces with crop fields. I feel that that's what people would do, especially like where there's not really enough room for another house or no way to really get there. Fill that land up with crop fields. That's what they would use. They would utilize all the land, especially inside the walls where it's a heck of a lot safer to farm. So let me get to farming and we'll check out some lore. Oh, geez, you scared me. You're through the portal.
Am I? Oh, I suppose I am, in a manner of speaking. I don't seem to have all my form here.
Are you okay?
I believe so. This corporeal form is so interesting.
Did you find the answers you need? Can you help us with the undead horde above?
I can. But it has a price.
I'll pay it, whatever it is.
It is a price only I can pay, Dr. Tepic.
I don't understand.
Even with this human form, I can still see everywhere. I can see every world still. I can advise you with the knowledge of all human history. But if I intervene, if I use some of this borrowed power from Edwin, I believe I will be closed off from this world forever.
Are you willing to do that?
It is a decision I leave to you.
How do I make this choice? To have you advise us armed with the unlimited knowledge of every world, past and present? Or to kill the horde and allow us to see the sun again?
I believe you must decide now, Doctor. I can feel this power already fading from me.
Do it. And thank you, Oracle. I don't suppose we'll ever talk again.
I don't believe so. This will be the only world in all the universe that will be dark to me. I wish you well, Dr. Tepic. Prosper and defeat Cal. You may be life's last chance.
Getting closer and closer to putting a pin in this one. I have to work on this little ledge. It's just kind of weird. I'll probably make a custom cliff at some point, but for right now, maybe I'll just throw some trees on it and call it a day. It's a temporary fix for this problem. We'll come back to this. I planted a couple 2x2 spruces just to get some podzol up here to help look like some ground cover. Yeah, I tell you what, these round logs, they're something else. I've never really seen anything like it before. It's pretty cool. But as of now, it is officially day 1750, and I am calling New Hope done, with the big asterisks up there. You know what I mean, done. Like, done, but yeah, I'm going to want to come back to it and add a lot more detail eventually. But for right now, I feel really good about it. It's time to move on. We are halfway through this period of time. So I finished that a lot faster than I thought I would, and that means I have 50 days to head down south to the fishing village, which, by the way, do we have a name for that? I can never remember if we named that fishing village down to the south or not. If we did, would you mind leaving the comments? And if we didn't, could you come up with a good name for me? I could really use some help. I am pretty terrible at naming things. I I took a small break to sort of scout around locations for the next block. So I'm going to be working still in New Hope and on the Arcane Reception Coil and on the unnamed or maybe named and forgotten named fishing village down to the south. And then once day 2000 comes around, I will be starting a new build. But check out what I found. Buried in this little hole, I found an igloo. That's pretty cool. Inside this little igloo, there actually is a villager, which, you know, I think I've only ever found maybe once or maybe even never in real survival. I know I've seen them before, but could have been like creative test worlds or something. So yeah, I came down here and there is, as expected, a villager and a zombie villager right there, along with everything you need, a golden apple and a potion of weakness. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure this guy, maybe come back to it later in the 2000 day block. It was just then, it was just at this moment while I was flying down to the southern village that I remembered math and how counting works. I don't have 100 days left before 2,000 days. I have 200 days left, which means I have 2 more videos before we start that. Look, I'm an idiot. I admit. It's because I call this 1,800 days, so in my mind, like 18, it's 18 to 19, but it's not. It ends at 1,800 days. So to feed all these people for 27 houses, I'm going to need at least 2 fishing ships. I think that's going to be roughly what we say 15 houses per fishing ship. I think that kind of works out. So I got to build one. I'm going to build one docked and one floating out in the water. Well, I had to go repair my shovel, and unfortunately I figured out that my Guardian farm seems to be kind of broken. I don't know what changed between 118.2 and 119, but yeah, it doesn't seem to work. It works like kind of like occasionally Guardians pop through, but not very often. Back to the Ender, sadly. I mean, look, it's fine. It's fine. It's what I'm used to, but the Guardian farm is way, 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 way faster. I have kind of the guts of the ship worked out now, and I need to figure out exactly where I want to put these posts. Now, this is going to be a furled up sail. Is that what you call it? A furloughed? No, what? I don't. What's the name of it? Anyone know sailing? What do you call it whenever you tie the sails up? Yeah, but if I'm gonna have to build a sail, or well, actually a bunch of sails for 2 different ships, I'm gonna need to go back and do some serious shearing. It's time for shearing intensity level 100. Let's do this. It's time to build a whole bunch of sails. These things, I don't always love the way they look when they're up, but you wouldn't have them down in the dock, so you don't really have a choice. I'm not going to go overboard on detailing these ships, but I do want to at least have sort of a spot in the middle where you throw the fish. I think it kind of helps fill space and makes it just look a teensy bit more realistic. So yeah, I'll dig a hole sort of right in the middle of this and then put down some waterlogged fence posts, I guess. But with that done, I actually forgot something. I had my ship actually sort of bouncing up against the dock, and that's not great. So I need to sort of make sure that the dock isn't touching. So I came around here and just broke at least a little tiny gap for it. I don't know if this is too close to a dock. Like, I don't know if this is how close ships would get to a dock back in sort of medieval times or not, but well, it's Minecraft and not real life, so I think we can all live with it. These waterlogged blocks are so great. What an amazing addition to the game. You know, Mojang and Minecraft and Microsoft have gotten a lot of hate recently for 119.1. If you want to hear my thoughts about that, make sure to check out the Skyblock series, because that's where I'm going to talk about things like that. But I got to tell you, since Microsoft bought Mojang, the updates have been really amazing. Things are coming along. Putting some lanterns adds to the atmosphere. One thing that I don't really love is just this very plain sort of looking ship. And, you know, this makes me think about my dock just sort of off the boat. And it's kind of the same thing. It's just endless spruce slabs. I'm going to have to address that. And that is not part of this build that I'm looking forward to very much. This part, though, is starting to look really nice. I noticed something very, very weird, though. I'm getting a little glitch whenever I move like between these 2 chunks, and it doesn't matter how often I do it, or if I wait or lag, or even if I reduce my sort of amount of frames loaded or chunks loaded to just a couple. It's really weird. I don't know what causes it. I really wish I knew. I checked a bunch of forums and I can't really find anything. It seems like there's some sort of weird 1.19 glitch that has reemerged. It used to be there and went away, and now it's back. But I'm heading back for some more wool. I'm completely out, and I'm going to need a lot for this other ship too, so I'm just going to stay here and hang for a little while. You want to hear some super ultra intense sheep shearing? We'll skip it this time. But before I actually get to the docks and all the stuff I want to do in the docks, I brought over a ton of colored wool, so I'm all ready. But I got to add one more ship. I can't add 27 houses in one fishing ship. I just think it's too much. So I'm going to add one more floating out there in the water as if it's moving, mostly because I want more sails flowing in the wind. Makes it look a lot nicer. I just did some flying around. I looked for a place that was within render, not too far away, but also not too close to dock, because I want to make sure it looks like it's traveling to somewhere, maybe to an ideal fishing spot or something. This seems right. I basically built this entire ship off camera. It's very cookie cutter the way I build ships these days. They're all hourglass ships and all around the same size, and that is okay because people would build them sort of similar to what other ships exist around there. I made these sails at an angle, which I think looks really nice, and it is coming along. We're just about ready. It looks good. This is a much lower profile ship. Again, I wanted to make it a little different, so I didn't want it to be a super tall ship. So I made the lowest profile ship that I have here, and I really like it. I made the sails not that high, and I think it's just different enough that it looks nice. It looks like it's not just an absolute cut and paste job. So yeah, it's cool. It adds a lot to the city. It's time to move on. Before we get into dock detailing, though, I need some dock expansion, and that means I need to have some more sort of offshoots from the dock that go out into the water so that ships could pull up and do their thing. I have right now, I think, 2, and I need more like 4 or even 5. So yeah, let's expand the docks first. Then finally, we'll get into actually detailing this place. Okay, this is perfect. With a diagonal dock and another dock sort of going the other direction, I think we're good now. It looks like a real actual dock. My goal was going to be to have little stands, kind of your traditional Minecraft marketplace stands. Reason being twofold. First, lore, it fits in. Ships would come and bring their wares in, and people would come here to buy it, fresh fish, all that kind of stuff. Secondly, it's going to add a lot of color and pop to this place, which is admittedly pretty bland. Also, though, I don't want to just add shops. I added like some more stairs and some little jut outs and just some things that add some interest, so it's not just a wall of spruce. And yeah, I'm going to address the wall of spruce at some point here, but it needs to be more than what it is currently. By the way, I wanted to pop in and say I did a little bit of texture pack adjustment. First, I added bushy leaves from Jermsyboy to the texture pack. Now, I'm not going to distribute those to y'all because those are Germs. If you want his, you can get it linked in the description down below. But I added double slabs, which I used to have. And what's cool is by adding these double slabs, like only when you add 2 slabs on top of each other, they turn into vertical planks, which is a super cool building helper. The reason why I want the vertical slabs, or sort of the other direction planks with the double slab, is going to be because I want to start mixing them in to here. But first, before I get to that, I want to build an actual house or 3 on top of these docks. Yeah, it might be a little heavy for the docks in real life, but I think it's going to help the immersion factor here. While I'm building these houses, I want to tell you, if you are wondering where you can get my resource pack with the vertical planks and the double slabs and all that kind of stuff, it's in my Discord only. I'm not going to upload it onto CurseForge or anything like that. If you want it, you got to get it on Discord. It's for Minecraft 118 and 119. I mentioned earlier that I have a whole bunch of tuff, the most I've ever had from my Ancient Sydney renovation, and I'm going to actually use it. I'm going to use it as sort of a wall here. I think it's going to look kind of nice, just like a textured almost wallpaper, or maybe like a stucco feel or something. So I don't know. I think it looks cool. I really, really, really like how this is coming along. Just adding all these different shops, leaving some places for chimneys in the houses, and then just starting to bring in some nature, some dirt actually on the docks. I spent a good deal of time variating some of these docks, and I have, well, a lot more of that to go, but it's starting to come along here. Well, I have been putting this off as long as I possibly can, and the next grind is going to be using those double slabs to variate this dock because it is so incredibly boring. I cannot live with it anymore, so it's time to put these down. Now, what I started doing, and I cannot explain why I started doing it this way, I started breaking the slab, putting down a slab, and then doing a double slab, instead of literally just putting a double slab on the bottom of a slab. I cannot explain why I did that, but that's what I did. And in the least shocking twist of all time, I'm out of spruce again. I'll admit I was a little nervous about putting houses on these docks. I was thinking originally about only sort of wool small stalls and stuff because of, you know, weight and stuff, but I gotta tell you, after adding one, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the way to go. It fills a lot more space and adds a lot more interest than all market stalls. So I'm actually adding 2 more. I am still in love with this glass texture that I made for my long-term single-player world, Bedrock Survival with Fix. By the way, I just put out a video called I Survived 100 Days in Hardcore Minecraft and Caused the Apocalypse. It's very long, but it includes all of my single-player world sort of lore beats. I think you'd really love it. If you love the Fixxiverse and you missed some of it, because I know a lot of people missed the Lore of Tovlin series, it's all in there, edited down to sort of one full movie type of experience. Go check it out. At this point, I have 12 days left. I am still working on adding more variation. I have stripped spruce logs, I have the vertical plank logs and slabs, and I think I need something else. It's not quite there yet. I was looking around my storage and coming up with shop ideas, and I found all these candles. And okay, let's start with candles. And then that sort of made me definitely confirm in my own mind that I'm going to make every shop sell its own thing. So I'll just go through storage, see what I have a bunch of, and just make these shops sell that item. Oh, adding in those trees made all the difference. So I flew back to New Hope with a whole bunch of wheat, and I'm breeding my cows, and then I'm gonna slaughter them up. I need a lot of item frames. I don't have that much leather on hand, so I need item frames to sort of show what items I'm selling in all these little stalls. I just did this very sort of generically. It's going to be all sort of together once you see it all as one thing. But yeah, I'm just throwing in barrels, chests, item frames, putting some of the items all over the place, maybe some signs. That's it. I'm not overthinking this. Everything from like bones to magma cubes, sand, cactus, just seriously, whatever I have in excess. And I think with that, all the stalls are decorated. They all have stuff inside of them. And I think I'm going to call this episode now. I actually technically have 8 days left. I'm going to save those 8 days for the next 100 days because at the time I was recording the gameplay here, I thought that that meant I only had 100 days left before this block was finished, but I was wrong because again, I forgot how to count. I actually have 200 days left. So yeah, so now I have 208 days left for the next episode. That's all right. We'll get there next time. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you all next time. Stay tuned for the epilogue. I don't think you're going to want to miss this. It really sets up the future of the entire Fixxiverse.